Good afternoon, Senators. I appreciate the few minutes I've been given to speak to you about this most important issue. I'm the dad of two children, a son in 10th grade at Salem High School and a daughter in 9th at Canton High School. I'm speaking to you on their behalf. We urgently need leadership, or we, as a society, will be left with the wreckage of a lost and undereducated generation. Unless you're rich or well-connected, that is. So let's recap where we are now as a state. We're now on day 347 of 2 weeks to stop the spread. Day 347 of our schools being closed by the governor. Day 347 of politicians saying that teachers and their union are more important than our children. My son hasn't physically been in school this entire time. My daughter has been there for parts of 6 days. In the past year, learning and common sense has taken a backseat to politics. The politics of fear, the politics of divisiveness, and the politics of coronavirus. You, our representatives, have had almost a full year to figure this out. Federalism dictates that education be run at the local and state level. Leadership from the state government has been both heavy-handed and non-existent at the same time. That would seem to be an oxymoron, but unfortunately government is the only entity that is able to make that possible. Nuance and common sense have disappeared from all levels of government lately. Policies that may have made sense to institute last March now don't, yet here we are doing those same very things. The legislature's biggest failing has been allowing the executive branch to do all the heavy lifting. Yes, most of you, publicly or in private, may disagree with those decisions, but so far there has been no political will to take power back from that co-equal branch of government. Legislating is hard, especially when you're worried more about your next election or worried that you are attacking someone from your own party and could pay a political cost. But our kids don't care if you have an R or D next to your name. They care about returning to their lives as quickly as possible. The science says that they should. The science clearly indicates that the risk from COVID-19 is exponentially less than it is from the flu, that children and even teenagers spread COVID far less than adults do. This is a blessing, knowing what this disease is capable of doing to those at risk from it. It's a blessing that we've wasted. We wasted it because we decided to follow not science, but Sciency. What's Sciency, you ask? Well, Sciency is taking some parts of science, combining it with PC language, sprinkling it with shallow platitudes that make some people feel good, and putting it out for mass consumption. That's what has happened the last 347 days. Shame on all of you and us for allowing it to happen. If I had more time, I'd be happy to talk to you about my $250,000 FOIA request to the Plymouth Canton Community School System. Talk about why this absurd amount makes it seem like my local school board is more concerned with keeping their campaign donations flowing from the Democratic allies, the Plymouth Canton Education Association. I talk about the emotional toll this has taken on my daughter, who's not the same person she was 347 days ago. About how she now at times allows irrational fear to take over her thought process, how she can't see many of her friends due to their irrational fears. I tell you how my son, who's on his high school bowling team, is losing out on opportunities to perform for college coaches and be considered for scholarships due to their truncated schedule. But I don't have enough time to go in depth with those items. I leave you with this thought. Your decisions for the last 347 days and the next 347 days are going to be life-altering for our kids. Will you choose to do what's right by them and allow them to get their lives back on track, forcing our schools to see our kids 5 days a week in person? Or will you follow the easy sciencey falsehoods and hope these future voters don't take it out on you in the polls in the next few years? I hope you choose the former. Again, I thank you for your time and attention today. I do greatly appreciate it.